here, okay? What do you want from us?
How much more do you want from me? And we're back.
Hello, girls. We're back.
And we're back. We're back.
And we're back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Cha-cha-cha. Hey, y'all. It's your girl, Taylor.
And Toya.
This is the Heaux Bag. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite streaming platform and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at _Heaux Bag. That's _HEAUXBAG. Keep up with our shenanigans. Bye. Bye. And we're back.
We're back.
With a topic that is, what's the word? Is it cringy?
I would say intense. For me.
It's more shadow work. So we're talking about, why do mothers hate their daughters? I Googled. Well, you want to go to Twitter news or just jump into it?
So, I really just saw one that said, my mom is weird as hell, gonna talk about no shade, then continue to throw shade. Not you trying to beef with your daughter. And then it was like so many people relating to that, which wasn't probably funny, but.
Did you know what was really, and I didn't want to play it, but I want to talk about it. I think what I've been seeing this little trend post this video, but when that lady pulls her daughter's hair and she's like, because she don't want to turn her homework in, and starts cutting her braids off. She thinks being pretty is better than being smart and educated. What was your take on that?
I feel like humiliating your child on the internet, period, is just ugly, and what's the point? So that was just like, what are you doing?
And then, but even taken away from that, like, the thought process behind, okay, she's pretty. Mm-hmm. I'm going to cut all her beautiful hair off. Like, to embarrass her when she goes to school. Like, that was your first thought of...
To teach her a lesson, yeah.
I don't know, it's giving it to me. And when I saw that, I thought, and then I watched the follow-up video. She has her daughter on camera. Like, you ever see those interrogation videos when they have like some like a back wall and they're like speaking to the camera? She's like, are you being harmed? And the girl's like, no. Do you know I love you? And she's like, yes. She's like, didn't I tell you to do your homework? Yes. Didn't you deserve to get this over getting your ass beat? Yes.
Because she probably had a bunch of people in the comments saying, we finna call CPS on your ass.
Yeah, they definitely turned the video down for her. They took the video down because of harassment and bullying, because she was out of line. And what I took from that was, you're jealous of your daughter. And not necessarily like, I'm going to say jealousy. And I've seen it before. And people say, I'm not jealous, but if somebody says that your daughter is, oh, she's so beautiful, she's so smart, and then you go, well, yeah, because she gets that from me, or something negative about them. Oh, your daughter got big teeth. Yeah, she get that from her daddy. Like, you know, like, or if she, you know, somebody says, oh, she looks like you. I see, and you name something that you may not be favorable about yourself. You know, it can bring out your insecurities, and I think that when that mom did that, it was very, it was pathetic, and it was a different form of, it's not physical abuse, but it was a different form of abuse, if you ask me. And it's traumatizing. I think later on she's gonna be like, yeah, it happened, but whatever. But if you consistently do stuff like that and she don't want to fuck with you when you get older,
that couldn't have been her first time. Like,
absolutely not.
Like, what else have you done? That's where because the same way you said your brain went to do that, like, that's where your brain went. That was the punishment. So it just lets me know, like, what else are you doing in the house?
Yeah.
I'd hate to say CPS go out there, because I know that I would never want somebody to be taken away from their family, you know, and put in the system. But somebody needs to look and see what the hell is going on in their house, because that's weird. I don't know.
I've seen some crazy stuff when it comes to mother-daughter relationships. And I think I was Googling it. I was like, why is it? And y'all, are you familiar with ChatGPT? It's this new thing out there. Like, you can ask it a question and it responds like quickly. But I was Googling why, and I like asked ChatGPT, like, why are mother-daughter relationships so difficult? And it gave me back this. Some common factors that can contribute to strained relationships between mothers and daughters include different communication styles or expectations, differences in personality, values, or beliefs, conflicts over personal choices such as career, marriage, parenting decisions, jealousy or competition for attention and or affection, unresolved childhood or past experiences and traumas, chronic stress, or other life events such as divorce or illness. It also said something on Google was like, once the daughter starts puberty, you know, that's when her hormones are crazy and the mom's hormones are crazy, and people are just naturally going at each other, and there's a lot of tension, and years of that causes more and more stress and a strong dislike between the two. And so, if, like you said in a previous episode, if neither one of the people, and it more so has to fall on the mom, is willing to do the work to fix this relationship, it just never gets fixed.
Absolutely. As an adult, like, I feel like it's your place to make sure that there is no beef with your child. Like, you're an adult. This kid is going through puberty. They don't know about hormones. They don't know what's going on. Of course, they're going to have attitudes. They're going to be snappy or whatever. But why are you, as a grown woman, had to look at the time, just trying to beef with your child? I don't understand it.
I was also reading, because before we do these topics, I always go to like TikTok and Instagram and Twitter and whatnot. And I was looking at some comments, and I noticed that a lot of people were like, oh, my son is so beautiful. My son is so smart. My son is so funny. And then some people are like, oh, my daughter won't let me be great. Ever since I've had my daughter, I've just been super emotional and vulnerable. I hate having a daughter. I want to give it back. Oh, every girl's going to be after my son once he goes to the league. Just look at him. I love my son so much. And I've seen it. Like, I had a aunt, or she's like a distant aunt cousin. She had a boy and a girl. The girl, she was so hard on, like, every time, like, so much to the point I'd be like, Dad, I don't want to come over here, because she's always like yelling at her daughter, always just like talking down on her, very critical, very judgmental. And her son, black people in the black house, you can't say what, right? The daughter says what, she gets popped. The son says what, it's like, son, don't talk to me like that. What are we talking about? Two totally different forms of character, of parenting, and their excuse is always, you have to be hard on girls, because if you don't, then they start getting out of line. It's like, to what extent are you being hard, and you just look like you a hating ass parent?
I've also had a friend that had a daughter, and she's very hard on her as well. But when I asked why, or like, I don't even have to ask why, I can hear certain things that she says, and it's like, you like your ugly ass daddy, and your daddy this and your daddy that. So I don't think that sometimes it's like having hate for that little person, but it's, you look just like your daddy, and I can't stand him, so now I can't stand you, if that makes sense. Which is still unfortunate. It's not making an excuse for it, but it's just like, that's another angle to look at why they would be doing that. Like, it's not jealousy, it's pure hate for that other parent.
Yeah, I've seen that too. It's sad. But at what point do you go as a parent, you know what? Little Taylor didn't ask to be here. I'm responsible for little Taylor. I'm going to be, when they look back, I think you get so caught up in life, right? Like, you can't even see, like, this person's going to hate me. This person's going to put me in the worst facility if they don't abandon me when I'm old.
I was riding in an Uber, and this Uber driver was telling me about his cousin that worked for some older white lady. And he was like, it's a shame that she had to go and hire somebody when this lady has 5 kids. And I said, well, you got to think from a different perspective. You don't know what that lady did to her 5 kids. You had 5 kids. All 5 of them don't fuck with you. That says a lot about you. Yeah. Like, not one of them kids wanted to fuck with you. Like, you got to look at things from a different perspective. Like, you really have to think, what am I pouring into this child? How am I raising this child to where they're just going to be a productive citizen, first and foremost, and be a good person to you, you know? Like,
I think, and we can transition this over to parents. I think parents always stand on that hill. I'm your parent. You need to respect me, honor me. And then, of course, the niggas that don't go to church, what does the Bible say? Honor thy mother and father. Girl, shut up. When the last time you've been to the church? Do you even own a Bible? Stop quoting the Bible just because it benefits you because you're a parent. they say that, and they, you know, they have their thumbs on you as you're growing up, and then once you're able to speak for yourself, because they always say they ain't raised no bitch, you know. So then when you start doing that back to, you know, standing on your own ground towards them when you don't agree with what they're doing or saying to you, then there's conflict. And then because they can't control you, or you're not like, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, and you decide not to come home for Thanksgiving anymore, then it's an issue. And they don't realize, like, hey, I'm going to, after about 16 years, if y'all ain't got no relationship and you're not willing to do the work, I mean, that's a reflection of what you did. And we're speaking to people with young kids now, or people with smaller children, or smaller people in their house, because you still have time. Once you get older, man, the Gen Z don't give a fuck.
Yeah, we can say that. I'll say that when I was growing up, I remember hating to like ask why, because if I asked why, it would be stop talking back. Mm-hmm. So as I'm parenting and I'm applying certain things that were instilled in me when I was younger, I'm still unlearning certain things, and I'm like, that didn't work. Mm-hmm. So when my daughter asks why, excuse me, I don't automatically assume she's being disrespectful. I'm just like, she's inquisitive. Mm-hmm. Yes, I said don't do that. And she may say why, and I'm like, well, don't do that because, not because I said so, like what my parent would used to say, but because if you do that, you're going to hurt yourself, or you're going to whatever. And then she's like, oh, okay, now I know why not to do that. Because if I say don't do that because I said so, it's going to make a child want to do it even more. Like, just educate your damn kid. They're kids. They're inquisitive. Like, what's so hard to understand about that?
Man, I love, and this is a little bit segue away, but I love when a kid asks me why, because that lets me know that they're not just going to go along with what society says or some adult says that they should do. Pull your pants down. Why? Hell nah. Like, I need somebody to be able to say no to an adult, to ask, to question. Also, when they get older, they're not just going, oh, well, I'm supposed to give you my credit. No. Why do you need to do my taxes? Where are you certified? Like, I need... This translates into how they will be adults. And people don't realize that kids are not... They go with the kids to be seen and not heard. Yeah, like to that. Some extent, they're not supposed to talk about stuff in grown folks' business, but they are learning. They're absorbing. This is the time for them to speak up and ask everything so that you can go ahead and address that. You can say, hey, the world may or may not be round based on what you believe on. I believe it's round, but you know, some people don't. And you can have that conversation. At least you know that their brain is working and not just, okay, I ain't got nothing to say. Oh, let me go look on TikTok and do this dance. No shade to TikTok, but like, what is TikTok teaching your kids? Right. What are you not teaching your kids? Do you know that you're not teaching your kids? Do you know that you're not paying attention to your kids? Do you know that you're not present? Do you know that the times that you do show up and decide to be present are the times that you're humiliating them on TikTok, or the times that you're only reinforcing some shit that you never explained to them on why they're getting a whooping?
And I will say, you know, I saw somebody online basically say that my child got an F and I whooped his ass. And I went, as a parent, I get it. You used to get whoopings. Mm-hmm. So you think that that's supposed to be the punishment for each and everything. However, as a parent, why are you not saying, why did you get this F? Did you tell them to go to tutoring? Like, what did you do as a parent to figure out why your child had a F instead of just whooping them? Like,
I think that's a reflection of self, right?
Absolutely.
Because did I sit down and do this homework with you? Have we gone over this? And did you just decide not to turn your homework in after I stayed up 12 extra hours this week to help you get, you know what I'm saying? Like, at this point, you're being defiant. And then, even then, I go, why are you being defiant? Right. Am I doing something in this house? Like, what is it? And I think we could solve all those problems by looking at how, now, I do think some kids deserve to get snatched the fuck up, and I'm going to play this clip for you. But I think a lot of things you have to reflect on yourself. Why do you hate your daughter so much? Why are you jealous of her? Why did you think having that baby was going to keep that man? And that's why we're stuck here. Because a lot of people never want to address that.
Yep.
Did you think that you was going to go to hell for getting an abortion? We can address that too.
Yeah.
I mean, what was the reason? Do some internal work. Okay, so I'm going to play this clip for you.
Yikes.
Now, it may be funny. It may not be funny. I don't know how y'all feel about this, but I think soft parenting only goes so far. I don't play this clip for you.
Okay, take your mask off. Surprise! This is your car, girl.
I didn't want a Tesla. I don't like electric cars.
Wait, what?
For a Mercedes Benz. I don't like Tesla.
You said you liked the electric
I
cars.
never said I like Tesla. I said a Mercedes Benz. I don't like Tesla.
Well, you gotta like. This is better than a Mercedes
This
Benz.
is not. I don't want no car that if I gotta charge it for it to work. I didn't want that.
Girl, you need to be grateful that you got a damn car.
I could have just been walking. I would rather walk than this.
Right. You should be happy.
You can put the keys back in your purse.
Oh, and I will. And don't
And I
ask me for
don't
nothing
want
else. Oh, you're gonna be happy with that money.
How much is this?
Girl, open it up and stop being ungrateful, because now you starting to be ungrateful where you ain't got to worry about me ever
I never
again.
said I wanted a Tesla. I always told you I wanted a pink Mercedes Benz.
Okay, well, I couldn't get the Mercedes Benz, so you
And
got
then
that.
This is all you gave me for my Sweet 16 and my golden.
Girl, do you know how much money that is? That's $1,600 for
That's
16.
it for my Sweet 16 and my golden birthday.
Well, what
That's
did you
all I gave you. And
want?
then you gave me the truck.
This is the car. It's not the truck. This is the car one. You guys, look.
You can have all your gifts back because why would you do this? This is my Sweet 16 and my golden birthday, and you gave me a car I didn't even want, and then you gave me little money.
You was being really, really ungrateful.
You can give this to your mom.
This is ridiculous. Deja, get back over here, and I'm not
The
playing.
gifts I don't. Oh, here you go.
So you really don't want this
I
Tesla?
don't like that. Electric cars. I don't want to have to charge my car to get on it. You could have kept your gifts
Okay,
and all
well,
that.
I'll take it back or I'll give it to somebody that
Look at
wanted it.
this. Like, I did not ask for it.
Is you serious?
Worst birthday ever. Like, ugh.
How was this your worst birthday?
Because I didn't ask for.
Did she just? You guys, I am so sorry, and honestly, I'm embarrassed. I actually thought she would be happy. She did say she wanted a Mercedes Benz, but I couldn't get her a pink one, so she always be like, oh, Teslas are nice, so I got her a Tesla. Okay. Well, you guys, sorry about this. I really thought my daughter would be excited about her new car, but I guess not, so.
Child, I'm just gonna end it. It goes a little longer. Go ahead.
Well, for one, I when I first saw it, I didn't know if it was a skit or if it was real, because there's so many people just making skits. You think it was real?
Now that you say that,
I thought it was a skit.
I don't know, because the little boy in the back, he was very authentic in his. He was just there. Kids just be there. Like, your little brother always is there, just like, oh, she said da.
I feel like if I was the mom and I was recording that, as soon as she said, I don't want, I'd have cut the camera. And then it'd have been some shit off the camera. But that's what made me think it was a skit. But if it wasn't a skit, she'd have got her ass whooped. Straight up. No
Yeah, I
car.
felt like
You can walk.
I felt like she deserved when the mom was like, get back over here. She walked in the house. Bring your little ass over here. And I would have ended the recording.
I think when kids get to a certain age, though, you know how you said some kids just need to be snatched the hell up? Mm-hmm. When kids get to a certain age, I feel like they be trying you. Because my she's only 11, but she be trying me.
But that goes back to the mother-daughter thing. They're like, when they go through puberty and they have these big emotions, these big feelings, and it's like they're going through that. How do you... I feel like this parent, if this was real, was like, okay, I'm not going to put my hands on her we don't know what she did, but like she allowed her to express herself and has always allowed her to express herself. But at what point do you let kids know that there are boundaries with expressing yourself? You can let me know that you aren't a fan of something without being disrespectful.
Yeah, she was very disrespectful with that. Like the whole, you give me little monies? Girl, what? Huh?
$1,600. This is my golden birthday.
What the hell is a golden birthday? Never heard of it.
You never heard of that? I had a friend. Every year was her golden birthday.
Okay. It'd have been her last birthday. Because I am confused.
I don't know. I think mother daughter. I asked not to get too personal but I asked my sister, I said, hey, because my sister, in a sense, kind of grew up with my mom, but she really didn't. My grandmother did the raising. Mm-hmm. And I was like, do you feel like you have a good relationship with mom? And she was like, I mean, we didn't argue that much when I was in college. And she goes, now she's like, I mean, we're cordial. And I was like, okay, because I know I don't have the strongest relationship with my mom, and my brother doesn't either. And my mom always called, like, I don't know why you guys never call me. And I'm like, this is a result of how you parented all of us. But I thought she favored my sister more than us. And so seeing that we have the same complaints and like issues and whatnot, I told my sister, I was like, I want you to know I'm a fan of you. Like, I want you to know that I'm super proud of everything you've done, da, da, da. And she just starts crying. And I'm like, what? Like, she's like, nobody's ever said that. And I that's how me and my brother are having a strange relationship right now. But I've always poured into my brother as well, because nobody was there to pour into me like that, and be a fan of me. And I let them know, like, I'm a fan of you guys. And I think that my sistering became overbearing because I was trying to overcompensate for not having that mother figure that was just there. And so I asked my mom, like, we have a good relationship now because we have a very transparent, we talk to each other as friends. And I asked her, she was like, if I was grandma, when grandma used to da da da, she's like, I'm the new grandma. And I was like, why do you always compare yourself to grandma? She's like, because grandma always paid. If I ever need anything, grandma paid for it. And I was like, I want you to realize, Mom, I make more money than you. I was like, I don't need you financially, but I need you there to support me emotionally. I don't know everything, and I'm not asking for the answers from you. What I'm asking is support. When I say, hey, I'm sad, let me just vent to you sometimes, or you know what I'm saying? Right. And I feel like I was like, even though you were there, like, you poured into my education, you made sure I was fed every time, like, you did what you knew how to do, but like, I feel like you didn't show up in a lot of areas where you could have, because you just weren't aware, or you got jealous sometimes and shut down. And she admitted, she's like, yeah, I was jealous of, you were closer to your dad, or I was jealous of da 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 da. And I'm just like, that's crazy. And she was like, and when you were 13, you were very difficult. Yes, I was going through puberty. I didn't know my period was going to have me become a raging bitch. Like, I didn't know that. That's something you should have known. And like, when I got to that age, you should have been like, okay, hey, I see what you're doing. We're not gonna do that. Instead of, get the fuck out of my house. So it's now that I'm a girl mom, I'm excited. And she's like, well, when she gets da-da-da. And I told her, no shade to you, but I'm ready for that.
Absolutely.
Like, I don't know what she's gonna be like. I haven't been there, but I'm preparing for that. Like, and it starts within myself. Like, I can't get mad when she gets frustrated about something. I know that I'm easily flustered. That might what's the word? Transpose. That might be something that she picks up just watching me. So I have to monitor the way I behave and the way I react, so that when she goes through those moments, I can just sit down and go, not you done, but like, are you done? Let's talk about it. Like, so that we have that relationship. We can grow through that. And when I see some people hate on their daughters, like, they don't like them because they look like their dad, or because they, they're quirky like their dad, and they remind them of their dad, and they just want to kick the shit out of them. Kids want to make you kick the shit out of them sometimes, but it is your job as their parent to go, that's not her fault,
and I can't kick her. I go to jail. One thing that I was thinking about, like, for a couple of days now, was me dating and how my mom's absence kind of affects my dating.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely. You don't know how to do it.
There's certain things that I just wish I could ask her. And it's like, you checked out when I was 10. Yeah, you had, certain things going on psychologically, which I understand. But I know personally that I have to heal my inner child before I can fully invest in a relationship. And that inner child is like, when I really sit there and think about it, I'm like, man, it's fucked off. Like, it's really fucked off. And it's pretty sad because as my daughter's getting older, I'm trying to be there for her. And, she's going to start liking boys soon. And, I definitely want to be there for her. But I'm like, damn, it's like the blind leading the blind, because I don't really know what the hell I'm doing. And who do I have to ask? When I was pregnant, I didn't have her. When I was going through whatever I was going through, I just did not have her. And I also didn't have a woman. To this day, I feel like that I could be like, hey, what would you do if you did it? You know, that I just don't have that. And it's really unfortunate. And I wish a lot of moms would sit back and just think like, what can I do to just be better? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of people that just need to shadow work. I'm just going to keep saying that. Like, be more introspective, I guess. Like,
let me Google what shadow work is, the definition of it, only so I can talk because I can say do the shadow work all day, and I know that means looking at the past, the things that I'm not aware of. So I got to become aware of what it is that I'm overlooking. But let's look and see what the actual definition is. What is shadow work? The shadow work means working with your unconscious in mind to uncover the parts of yourself that you repress and hide from yourself. Okay, so basically I said it. And a lot of people don't do that. This is me. You function in your persona. Your persona is the mask that you put on in front that you present to the world. You think that's, that's how you're functioning, but you're not like, okay, behind this mask, I am fucked up because of this situation. And then you expect everybody else to be good because you seldom calm the fuck down.
And then when you suppress it for so long, like, it's gonna pop up eventually. Like, it's going to pop up, like, in one area of your life or another, where it be through parenting or relationships with a male or female or within your family. It's gonna pop up somewhere. So it's like,
man, it's crazy that you say that. So, I used to be outside drinking Hennessy sidecars, and to the point where I would not black out, but this other version of me would come out, and the men that I was dating would say the same thing. And I didn't realize they would say, you would start crying and say, don't abandon me. Don't leave me. Everybody leaves me. And I was like, I ain't say that. I'm tripping. Whoa. I'm thinking, I ain't want you to leave me at 50-15, right? So then I got in this relationship, and he was like, yeah, you were in the house just like getting upset about it. And I was like, what am I upset about? And then I had to realize, okay, who am I upset with for leaving me? Why do I feel like I was left, right? And so to piggyback off what you said, like you didn't know, you didn't know, so you're kind of trying to figure it out yourself while you figured it out for your daughter. I felt like my mom left me. And when I talked to my mom,
I agree.
I talked to my mom. She's like, I didn't leave you. She's like, I was trying to do better. While she was trying to do that, she didn't look and see, hey, little Taylor's watching you. She needs you right here. And so like, me and my mom are cool now. But I had to do a lot of that work to realize like what was going on. Do you not fuck with me because of XYZ? I can't help that this is my dad. I literally had no say so in this. I just got here 3 days ago.
I don't know what's going on. But I can speak on abandonment as well. And as I was in therapy, I was talking to her about like why I am apprehensive to get in relationships. And it's because my mom checked out when I was 10. So it still comes back like and follows me in every aspect of my life. And it's just like, oh my God, I got to get this shit together because until I get it together, I'm just going to be
So what do you think about two
unhealed.
people who are healing in their healing journey, right, that are trying to get together? Is it better than just two unhealed people being together?
I think that if two people are actually trying to be a better person, then it could work depending on what you're dealing with. Because if you feel like you're dealing with something that's going to carry on into like spill over into my life, I probably don't need to be with you, and vice versa.
That's
like if I'm dealing with something where, like you say, every time I drink, I just break down crying, or, whatever the situation is, like, and you can't handle it, it becomes too much, then I probably don't need to be dating.
Yeah.
Like point blank period.
No, facts. And what do you think about unhealed people? And so I say this often, and I realize you always come back and say it's not that young. When I say young people having kids, I don't mean teenagers having kids. I mean people who haven't had the opportunity to learn that there is shadow work to be done. And because a lot of people, unfortunately, our community, we don't know that there's work because nobody goes to therapy until now. So by the time we're 25, we've already had all these kids. We've already been married a couple times, and the damage has been not done, but the foundation has been laid.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's like you're trying to work on yourself, trying to work on your kids, and it's so much more work that I think becomes overwhelming for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. So when I say young and enjoy, you're young and you enjoy when I say when you're young, you should enjoy your life, I don't necessarily mean go take those trips to Dubai and all that stuff. I mean, like, do that and then also fuck up so that you go, oh, why am I crying at that? I do have abandonment issues, and you can address those and not get over it, but you can learn how to work past it.
I did see a clip not too long ago that was talking about, it was a lady, I think she was like 35, and she was basically saying, like, I always thought that if I have a baby at this age, something was going to be wrong or whatever the situation was. And she was basically trying to encourage older women to have a baby even though they're older. Mm-hmm. And she was like, the wisdom that I've gained, you know, like, I feel like I'm actually ready to have a child, versus if I would have had a child when I was like 20, 21, 22, I probably wouldn't be as good as a mom as I can be right now.
Absolutely.
So if I knew, like what everybody says, if I knew then what I know now, I would have waited. But she's here. She's beautiful. And there's that.
And she has the best personality ever. Like, she's the coolest kid, honestly.
I'll let her know that.
Yeah, that's my dog. But it's funny that you say that now. So do you see this? Well, you probably don't see this in your personal life, but do you see this like with other people, grandmothers like trying to? Well, you might see it in your personal life. Grandparents trying to come in and be like, "Oh, I didn't have the opportunity to do X, Y, Z, so now I'm going to do it with this kid." Because it's like they realize they fucked up, and they're trying to do better. Or you got some grandparents who just still think nothing's wrong with their parenting.
Yeah, I see that. And I also see, for whatever reason, like a lot of moms that are like, not our age, but like our mom's age are trying to, like, I don't know if it's a midlife crisis or what, but they're like reliving their youth through their kids. Like, if that makes sense. And I don't like that, because I'm like, why are you 52 and you getting your belly button pierced? I mean, hey, do you? But what are you doing? Like, why
are you trying to come out with me? Sit down somewhere.
Yeah, like, you really trying to like go to the club with your child and stuff. Like, do what you do. I'm not knocking nobody, but to me, because I was raised differently, my grandma was like a grandma that sat in the house and, you know, wasn't out here getting BBLs and all that. I think it just is a little different.
Yeah, that's it.
You gonna ask me for a grandbaby, but then say you ain't raising no babies. What? So you're not gonna help?
Girl, I know we got a couple minutes. That is a form of hate as well. I want to get in on that real quick. I think that is some bullshit. People are like, when you gonna have kids? When you gonna have kids? Settle down. You're not helping me at all. You want me to struggle the way that you struggle, not necessarily financially, but mentally. You want me to go through and have this tough time of trying to figure it out, because everybody needs to go through that, and it's a part of life. It's not a part of life. Like, I see my Puerto Rican families out here, and you know, they have a baby and everybody chimes in and they help, and they're like, oh, you know, that's their family. That is what community, your village. I shouldn't have to go out here and build a new village of people when I have a kid, and you tell me that's just a part of life. To me, that is a self of hate. And that was, I don't know, in jealousy in a parenting form, to want to wish that onto your kids. Like, and I say this all the time, kids are not for everybody. Mm-hmm. Marriage is not for everybody. It is okay to be single without kids. There is nothing wrong with you. Yes, when you get older, you want to have that, but you can also have a best friend. Like, you can have your community that you grow old with. That is also an option. I just want people to know that, because people think that you're supposed to just put this kid out here and it's you and this kid. Like, no, there should be a community, because if you keep raising, if loners keep raising loners, like, and then if they're out here trying to redo the cycle, like, oh, yeah, I never had cousins, I never da-da-da-da-da. Like, come on, y'all. Like, that it's bullshit, child. It's like, to me, it's like a man getting a girl pregnant just so she can stop going outside. I feel some type of way about it.
Clearly. I'm gonna make my whole tip piggyback off of what you said. I wish people in general would stop. I don't care if the person is married. I don't care if they're 30. I don't care what the situation is. Please stop being invasive and saying, when are you going to have kids, on that woman? When are you going to have kids? When are you going to have kids? Because you don't know what that woman has going on. Maybe she can't have kids. She has not expressed that to you. What if she's trying, like, you don't know what the situation is. I feel like that is such an invasive ass question, but people have made it the norm to say, when y'all gonna give some babies?
When you gonna give me some money?
I mean, that part too, especially, again, if you're not helping. But it's just so much more invasive to me as just you asking that woman that, because you don't know what she has going on. Just keep that in mind.
And to piggyback off that, you in my business. Don't do that.
Bye.